What is our top 5 on this special anniversary episode of Snap Material?
Top 5 favorite titles. When they first started doing the titles, I was like, wait a minute, what's that? Do you type it in yourself? And then then I figured it out, and now I've got a bunch to choose from, and some I'll never use, but I have some favorites.
I was kind of torn on titles there for a little bit because I found them kind of like one of these like throwaway things. I wasn't going to use them very much, but then you got to change your name every 30 days in Snap. So in Marvel Snap. So grab yourself a title and then change your name accordingly to make it flow.
I didn't realize you could change your name, and so I was assuming that all the ones where the titles and the names fit together were bots. And I'm like, oh no, they made it so you can change your name. Okay.
I'm going to go, I'll start with number 5 here. And if we overlap, you just say something.
Okay.
There's a lot of titles out there, so I really don't know if we're going to overlap.
I might have been tempted to say, which ones just narrowly missed the cut, but
yeah.
But who knows? I will say that I lean toward ones I've used.
Okay.
I've seen it seems like I've seen some newer ones out there that were pretty clever, but I tried to go with the ones that I've actually used.
Same here.
There were a few that I really liked, and then when I got them, I didn't end up using them very much.
Right.
I'm going to be kind of surprised if I don't know your number 1.
Oh, yeah, I have a feeling you will. I have a feeling you will. So number 5, my choice, embarrassment to my family. And you'll notice a theme here as we go through my top 5 that I like to pick the ones that are kind of self-deprecating. And yes, embarrassment to my family was definitely one of them. So I was like, okay, that's my number 5.
Number 5 for me, the one I just swiped in, is loosely related to Wolverine.
Okay.
Which makes you feel like a part of the Marvel Universe, not because of just saying you're loosely related to a character, but I think a good 50% of the Marvel Universe is loosely related to Wolverine.
That's true.
Black Widow knew him when she was a child, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So I like that one.
All right. Number 4. I'm going to let you go first. What's your number 4?
A relatively new one. I think I got this as part of the season pass, but it speaks to my love of obscure characters. Night Stalking from Home. They had pretty much near the beginning working from home in quotation marks, which, just kind of fit. And, even though this came out at the tail end of the pandemic, oh my gosh, can you imagine your collector's level if this hit right when COVID-19 did?
Oh my gosh.
Actually, the sad part is mine might not be that different, which just speaks to my overwhelming social skills. But, so working from home has been one that's been floating out there a lot. And then to tie it into the Night Stalkers from the Midnight Suns, Blade and Blade's friends that no one remembers their names.
Yep.
It's Frank Drake and Hannibal King. That one amuses me, and that's on a few of my decks right now.
I like it. All right, my number 4 is Using My Degree. Yep.
That's a good one.
That's pretty recent for me too. I think I found that one. I want to say it was about a month ago. I unlocked it and I was like, oh my gosh, I've got an 18-year-old that's recently started college, and there's been plenty of conversations where I'm just like, I think college is a good thing. I went there. I assume it's done me some good. But then, you start looking at well, that piece of paper, where did it really get me? Oh, I've got a collector's level of 7,000 right now. So I'll put it on the resume. All right. Number 3. And this one I've had for a little bit, not very long, but enough time. And that is couple cubes short of a rank.
Yes.
I mean, my goodness, how does that not describe where you were at? I'd probably say at least 40% of the time after you hit level 70, you're just trying to scraping. I just need a few more cubes, please. Oh, back down. Oh, I'm back down. And back down.
That's one I used quite a bit. I'm not sure why. Like I said, there's just so many of them, but that one could have easily been in my top 5.
Yeah, it's a good one. All right, what's your number 3?
This is one that I'd seen and admired from afar and finally got recently, and I probably put a little too much thought into when I use this, but I like to put it on decks that I'm hoping are going to be good. Capable of greatness, perhaps.
Capable of greatness, perhaps.
It's like, projecting confidence. Then maybe.
That's good.
So yeah,
I haven't seen that one.
Like to put on the decks that I think maybe there's something here.
I think I've seen that one. See, just to take a step back here real quick, this is one of those kind of like I said, I didn't think much about the titles, but what's it take for them to create a title? Hardly anything. Just relate it to the Marvel Universe or make it funny. And there are a lot of titles out there. I don't know if I've ever seen that one that you're talking about. I may have played you and you might have had it, but I mean, there's a ton of different titles out there. I mean, they add just kind of like that little bit of, sparkle to the game. Mm-hmm. They make it that, yeah, okay, I want to put, for anybody that out there that's listening and doesn't understand much about this game, well, hey, we appreciate you listening to the podcast, number one. But one of the things that happens is when you play somebody, the name is there, and then below that is the title. So you could, you see your name, and then you see this title. So you got a bunch of options to pick from to kind of put that little bit of extra flair, that little bit of hilarity, or whatever, so that everybody who plays you sees that. But I would love to know how many different titles there are out there. There's got to be a lot. But anyway, all right, that's a good one. Okay, so I'm going to let you go with number 2, then you go first.
This is another one I tend to put on specific decks, and I love that they let you put them on different decks. I think, when they first introduced them, it was just one. I mean, you could change it, but it was just one. Same with the avatars. But I overthink my avatars, too, because I'm like, well, it can't be somebody that's actually in the deck. This one I put on the decks that you and I have talked about that are just trying to mess up whatever the other person wants to do. I'm sorry it has come to this. Because I'm like, if somebody did this to me, I'd be frustrated. So
yes,
I should apologize up front.
Yes. Okay. Number 2. When it came to doing the top 5, my top 2 were pretty easy to come up with. The rest of them were like, okay, what do I use the most? Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. So now we're getting into the okay, I know for sure that this was going to be my number 2 and this was going to be my number 1. But number 2 is playing Agatha. And I think one of the main reasons I like to have that as the title is because you shouldn't have it on there unless you are. And I know that we went through a phase where we were doing that for quite a little bit.
And I used it.
Yes.
When I did that.
That's right. And I think it gives me, a little bit of dark joy to beat a person and have that title there. And they knew what they were getting into at the beginning of the game. And by the end of the game, they're like, holy crap, he was playing Agatha. And if you can win, it's that much more sweeter to know that you told them up front, and by golly, you won the game with Agatha. They got beat by a robot.
I would be more likely to use that as cover. Like, no, I'm not an idiot. Agatha did that.
Somebody to blame?
Yeah, that was Agatha.
Oh, my God.
Agatha played the Hobgoblin on Camartage, not me.
Not me, no. I don't know why she didn't lay herself down. There must be a glitch.
Agatha moved everybody to New York when you had Wilson Fisk sitting there. Not me.
Oh, man, Agatha.
Do you want me to announce your number 1?
Yes, I want you to announce my number 1.
90s was the best decade.
I love it. Yes, indeed. 90s was the best decade. And you won't believe the insane jealousy that I had when I saw people running around with that title and I didn't have it.
Yes, I will.
I was like, how am I going to get this? And I ended up unlocking it somehow. I didn't pay. I didn't do anything. It was a situation where I'm pretty sure I got it through. I had to have got it through a collector's cache. That's the only way I could think of that I got it. And man, the joy, the instantaneous changing of the title as soon as that happened. So yes, 90s was the best decade. It's great. It's a great title.
Podcast to that effect.
You know what? I might start something up about that. Now,
my number 1, it may have been the first title I got, and if it wasn't the first, it's one of the first. I don't always run it now. I mean, I liked it just for the reference, but now I put it on some specific decks. But it's a bit of a scientist.
Yes. And the only reason I know that is because I've seen you play it. Just gonna say, before you get into why you picked that, I want to tell you about some interesting stuff that happened today. So I'm listening to Kapow, the Pop Culture Podcast. Our good buddy Jordan Lowe, Seth, and Cliff. So they did their podcast recently. They have a little segment they do on there every once in a while. They brought it back. It's been a while since they had it. It's called One Job. And the way that they do this is they take an actor or an actress, and they say, okay, what is going to be this one job that goes on their tombstone in the annals of Kapow, the Pop Culture History? What is the one job that this person is going to be known for? This last episode that they did, they chose Willem Dafoe. And I kid you not, it was up until I listened to that podcast today that I realized that your title that you picked as number one is a reference as to what he says.
Oh, yeah.
In that movie and Spider-Man.
I thought it was The Last Temptation of Christ.
I almost thought you were serious, so I was like, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, they were playing clips off of the movie. I thought it was Spider-Man. What if it was The Last Temptation of Christ? Oh man. So anyway,
like it reminded me of that line in Spider-Man. I can see it and hear Willem Dafoe saying it. And then even though I've got other titles that I mix in besides the nostalgia factor, I put that on a lot of new decks. Like if I'm trying something out, like I'm a bit of a scientist. Let's see what works here. Usually it blows up in my face almost as disastrously as Norman Osborn's Goblin Serum. But I just I love the movie. I mean, X-Men brought us into the age of comic movies, but Spider-Man showed it wasn't a fluke. So yeah, but between the nostalgia and the description of some of my decks I'm trying out, that's my favorite.
All right.
Did you have any that narrowly missed the cut?
I did, but did I keep a list? No.
The one that I was pretty sure would get on there, and I just haven't used it much, because everybody uses it, so it made it a little less. It just same reason I don't want to use Nimrod or Galactus, but it cracked me up, and I wanted it. And then when I finally got it, I'm like, everybody uses this one, the Silver Couch Surfer.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen that one.
That cracks me up, and also I just imagine the actual Silver Surfer just like showing up and crashing on your couch. I mean, I'm not an expert on the Silver Surfer, but I just imagine he's like, yeah, hey, Ben, Johnny, can I crash here for a few days? And he could get his own place, but just freeloader, exploring Earth.
True.
Big trapped here.
I used to have Yes, Why Do You Ask on there quite a bit. And then I started to realize that and I think I sent you this was a long time ago. Somebody had at the top their name and title was "Do You Lift, Bro?" And then the guy below had "Yes, why do you ask?" That was great.
I also like "This Matchmaking Sucks." That was one of the earliest ones I saw, and I'm like, they're just leaning right into it.
Please, I need that title. I have not seen it grace my options yet, but I want that one so bad.
I don't know if I have it, but I saw that one a lot, and I'm like, yeah, just go with it.
I'm looking through all the titles right now. I almost had I Got Dim Variants on there. I really thought about that one pretty hard, but did not put that one on there. And From the Top Rope, of course. I'm a wrestling fan, so that made me laugh.
I also enjoy Met Nick Fury Once.
That's a good one. Here lately, the one that I used here lately with the move deck is Your Cubes, Give Them to Me. That one I liked. I don't think I'd seen anybody use that against me, so I was like,
I think that was a Conquest unlock, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, you're right. See, yeah. I played some Conquest.
Now, Jesse, if I don't know if you had any other near misses you wanted to get to, but this is an anniversary episode.
Mm-hmm.
I brought a bonus top 5.
Oh, let me hear it. I can't wait. This is exciting.
The top 5 locations I get mixed up.
Okay.
Top 5 locations I mistake for each other.
All right.
At first I thought, I'm like, hey, let's do this. And then I'm like, I don't know. And then I realized it happens a lot.
Yeah.
So number 5, Kemhartaj and Kunlun. More than once I have played a card on Kunlun and been like, hey, why didn't I get the other reveal?
Guilty.
Why didn't I get the second on reveal?
So guilty of that, man. Done that a lot.
They're spelled kind of the same. They look kind of the same. It's happened more than once.
Good pick.
Okay, number 4, Oscorp Tower and Fisk Tower.
Oh no.
We've been well documented on here, my problems with Fisk Tower.
Yes, we have.
It's happened live, but sometimes I don't play on Fisk Tower at all, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want my opponent to get these cards, and I'm like, oh no, I just don't want to move cards over there.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
they're both Spider-Man villains. They both have towers. Come on, guys.
True. It's very true.
Okay, another one, Sakaar and Sokovia. But both of these can mess up your strategy, but at least with Sakaar, you still get to use the card.
Yeah, when you're
I guess I'm not explaining it for the people. Let me go back a little. Camartage, on reveal abilities happen twice. Kunlun, you get +2 when you move there. But you just put a card on there and it just operates as normal. Oscorp Tower switches, the card switch sides after turn 3. Fisk Tower, if you move to it, you get destroyed. Mm-hmm. It says it right there. And some people do it anyway. And then Sakaar will pull a card from your hand and put it on that location, which sometimes can be frustrating. Sometimes it can be quite helpful. Sokovia just discards a card from each hand.
Yeah. This is a location that, I mean, you don't have to worry about making the mistake. It's going to make take all the action for you. It's just a matter of like, oh, hey, okay, here comes one of my cards. Oh, nope, my card just went away. Okay.
But yeah, at least with Sakaar, sometimes you can get a card out there a lot earlier than you normally would have. You know, there have been times where I'm like, okay, which card's it going to pull? I'm like, oh, it's pulled, and now it's gone.
Right.
So, but now we get into the ones, those are the ones that happen sometimes. Now we get into the ones that I cannot tell apart.
All right.
Cannot tell apart. I have often played a card on the Quantum Realm expecting its value to get changed to 2, only to have it put back in my deck because it was actually the Quantum Tunnel. Or I have played a card wanting to get the on reveal and then have it tossed back into my deck via the Quantum Tunnel, only to have its value set at 2 and it remain right where I left it. I just read Quantum. The art doesn't even look similar on them.
No, it does not, dude. Wow.
But they came out at the same time, and I just read Quantum. And then number 1, the ones that I cannot tell apart, and there's not a common word. They look a little bit the same. Adelon and the Starlight Citadel. Yeah. Yep. Okay, Adelon, that's the one that takes up all your cards, shuffles them in the deck, and then deals out 3 more, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Starlight Citadel moves the locations. I'm gesturing so you can see the locations moving in this audio medium. And there have been times where I'm like, okay, where are these locations going to end up? Wait, where are my cards going?
Oh man.
Or that's usually how it happens, although sometimes it's been like, okay, and we're going to mix the card. Wait, why is everything moving around?
Yeah.
So yeah, Adelon and Starlight Citadel. The words don't look the same. The art, I mean, they do both. Wait, no, I think one happens after turn 3, one happens after turn 4. But they look the same, and I cannot tell them apart.
No, I'm right there with you, dude. That's happened to me plenty of times where I'm like, okay, here we go. I wasn't expecting the switch in the locations. That's usually what takes me by surprise. I'm like, it's been out there since turn 3 or turn 1. And I'm playing like regular, and then all of a sudden the locations get changed up, and I'm like, why didn't I read what that was? But yes, I have completely been there.
And I can see why that would frustrate you, because if someone's going to move the locations, it's going to be you and Quake.
That's right. You dang right it's going to be Quake. And boy, oh boy, sometimes that would make me mad because I would throw Quake out there, and then I realize, oh, I've got Starlight Citadel on the board. What I just did is... You know, if it worked in my advantage, it ain't going to work in my advantage here after another turn or 2. Oh, man. Good list. Good bonus top 5. I love it. Thanks a lot for joining us. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the next installment of Snap Material.